Day 12 of the Basho. Haru's in the lead. He's just taken a loss to Asashoryu. Still in the lead with 10 wins and 1 loss. Kaiho just behind him with 9 wins and 2 losses. It's the Obidashi shouting out the names of the wrestlers. It's the flags up there say it's full house, Manin Onrei in Japanese. And that's important for the sumo. The sumo associations had a declining income over the last 3 years. So money's getting tight for them, but it's getting tight for the Japanese economy as a whole, which is probably the main reason. Now we go on to our first bout. Tamanoshima fights Oikari. Well, Oikari had Tamanoshima on the back foot there, kept him in that position and eventually shoved him out with oshidashi. 6th win for Oikari and 7th loss for Tamanoshima. This ring is made of 8 tons of hard-packed clay. Edges particularly strengthened. Sometimes the edge can actually crumble away with 2 huge wrestlers fighting on it. So this is Oginishiki and Daizen, but it's Daizen who just nudges Oginishiki over the edge with yorikiri. Daizen, oldest wrestler in this Makuuchi division, 37 years old. It's his 7th win, which is what he had last time out. Now Miyabiyama fights Shimotori. These two have never fought before. Miyabiyama's got 7 wins. If he can win this one, that will be Kachikoshi, and that will be a good comeback for him after a 3 basho absence. So there it is, he gets his Kachikoshi. Tsukiotoshi thrust drop throw for Miyabiyama. He had a patchy start, but he's had a run of wins since day 8, and that's pushed him up. 7th loss for that last bout for Shimotori. Now Kaiho, Hakaku stable. These two are both Nichidai. That's the big amateur stable for which they came through. And that's Takamisakari just tying up the arms of Kaiho as he dragged him down forwards. It's a shame that Takamisakari's got such bad legs. He was, what we've seen him, he's a very good sumo wrestler, but his knees have plagued him almost from the start. Now Hamanishiki fights Aminishiki. Nishiki being a fairly common part of a sumo name. The shikona means brocade. Not tell you too much. Well, that was interesting. There's a slap down from Aminishiki, and Hamanishiki tried to grab Aminishiki's ankles, but it looks like that's this Hamanishiki's thigh again hurting him, where we tore it earlier. Well, there's the slap down, and then you see the leg grab. Well, interesting. So susotori, that's known as, and it was Aminishiki who got that. That's his 9th win and 7th loss for Hamanishiki. Toki fights Tamakasuga. Toki was used to serve as the former Yokozuna's Tachimochi, that's the sword carrier, when he did his ring entering ceremonies. Now he's lost that job with the retirement of Akibono. It's Toki there thrusting to the throat. Slap in the middle of all that. There's another slap. There's another slap. As I said before, they seem to be following Asashoryu's example. Although it could be said, I suppose, that Asashoryu has followed Takatoriki, who had a very mean line in harite, or slaps. So Toki wins there. That's his 7th win with oshidashi, push out. And Tamakasuga takes his 6th loss. Now Otsukasa fights Takanowaka. These two have fought 5 times previously. Takanowaka's won 3 of them. Takanowaka not too fat as a sumo wrestler, 145 kilos, could carry a bit more weight. Does a fair amount of weight training, and there's a textbook push out there, single push to Otsukasa's head area, and that sent him flying out of the ring. Otsukasa locking in there with close to Takanowaka's body, but then it opens up. And then as it opens up, Takanowaka starts driving. There's the drive, and there's the push to the face, and that sends Otsukasa flying out of the dohyo. As I was saying before, the dohyo, the clay ring, is 8 tons of densely packed clay tapped into place. No machines are used, all done by hand, done by the yobidashi. Takes a few days to do it. Now Kyokushuzan, certainly looking weak this basho. Fights Dejima. These two have fought 12 times. Previous encounters, Dejima's won 9 of them, but Dejima's not doing too well these days. An even start there. Kyokushuzan trying some slaps. Tries to jump out the way, but Dejima leaves a long arm stretched out to the side, and that was just enough to snare Kyokushuzan and send him over the edge. So Dejima's 4th win. Got 8 losses so far, and that means Makikoshi is Magashu a 7. He'll drop down the ranks a bit. He's got to start reversing his string of poor results. This looks like it's going to be, yes, this will be the 4th basho in a row with more losses than wins. Now Akinoshima fights Kotonowaka. Kotonowaka, who Tochiazuma we know hates fighting. Tochiazuma's least favourite opponent. 33 years old, but there's a leg grab from Akinoshima and a drive out. So yorikiri win there for Akinoshima. That's his 5th win. 8th loss for Kotonowaka and Makikoshi. Kyokutenho. Rising Sun, Divine Phoenix, that's what his names mean. Fights Wakanosato. Young Village, translation. Names don't always mean very much. Sometimes part of the name is inherited from the stable that they're in. It shows which stable they're from. So locking in tight there. Wakanosato's got a much too firm a grip. 2 arms round. Deep in, round the belt, round towards the back, and Kyokutenho not able to do much about that. That was the 8th loss for Kyokutenho and Makikoshi. 15 bouts in a sumo tournament. 8 wins, of course, means more wins than losses. The final result will be 8-7. 8 losses, of course, means more losses than wins, and that's what decides whether they go up or down the rankings. Now, Takanonami considers himself a big rival to Musashi Maru. Well, in the early days he was, but Musashi Maru's gone a long way ahead of the former Ozeki. Now, Tochinonada's beaten Takanonami 4 times. So a slap there from Takanonami as Tochinonada comes out, but Tochinonada locks in tight. He starts trying to lift the big man, he does it, he manages to float him up, and that just enough to drop him over the edge of the ring. So a yorikiri win there for Tochinonada. Well, that's the 7th loss for Takanonami. 1 more loss, and he won't be able to keep in his komusubi rank. He'll drop out of the sanyaku ranks from komusubi and up. So Asashoryu coming out. Now he's fighting Tosanumi. These two have fought 6 times in previous encounters. Tosanumi's won 4 of them. Tosanumi comes out very hard and fast, but an audible grunt as he comes forward. You can see Asashoryu thirsting to get into the fight there. Tremendous fighting spirit from this Mongolian. And he really gets annoyed when he loses. So from that high rank, from that high thruster up, he dropped down to the legs, almost tripped Tosanumi, then he came up again, switched levels of attack, and blasted Tosanumi out. Let's watch that again. Comes out, heads almost missed, slaps high, then he drops down to the legs. That gets Tosanumi rocking, then he comes back in, high level again, into the face, under the chin, and out goes Tosanumi. So that's 8th loss for Tosanumi and Makikoshi, and it's 8th win for Asashoryu, and that gives him Kachikoshi. So he's at Sekiwaki West. To go up to Ozeki, the next rank up for him, he needs about 34 wins over 3 bashos, so he's got to do a little bit better than he's doing at present. His last 3 bashos he's only scored 28 wins, not including this basho. Now Tochiazuma fights Musoyama. Well, Tochiazuma's got 3 wins. There's a slight hope of him winning the basho from here. It's mathematically possible if he wins from now on and all his opponents lose, but I wouldn't bet on it. So these two, Musoyama's beaten Tochiazuma recently 3 times. Musoyama well back from the start line, giving himself a bit of space. Comes forward hard, whacks in the Tochiazuma, gets him rocking back a bit, keeps the initiative, driving him back. Tochiazuma hanging on, turns away from the edge, gets pushed back into the edge again. He's back with his heels to the ring there. Musoyama trying hard, so Musoyama keeps the pressure on, almost gets turned away and with his own back to the ring, but he keeps the pressure on and eventually drives Tochiazuma over the edge. So that goes Tochiazuma's chances of winning this basho. He won the last one. If he'd won this one and won it well, could have been promoted to Yokozuna, although the rules for promotion to that level are a bit vague. But the head of the Yokozuna Deliberation Committee said that a good result here would probably mean promotion. So Tochiazuma trying a hataki komi there, that's on the back of the neck. Musoyama just piles the pressure on, keeps it going, drives Tochiazuma right to the edge, who recovers at this point, manages to pull away from the edge, feet skidding a little bit as he does it. Musoyama turns him around again and starts to drive him back to the edge. And that's it, Tochiazuma digging in with his right leg, trying to stop that pressure. Musoyama staying in front of him and then drives him over the edge. So 8th win and Kachikoshi for Musoyama. Now Kaiho fights Chiyo Taikai. Chiyo Taikai 158 kilos, Kaiho 170. Chiyo Taikai will come out like a rocket. He's not doing too well this basho, he's had 4 losses already. Kaiho looking strong this time. Good view there of the shikiri. The crouch down, feet wide, knees wide, fist down, head up, looking at the opponent. They go through these rituals over a 4-minute period, then eventually they'll go for the final one. This is it. So good head-banging start. Chiyo Taikai goes for the round the neck, which meant he'd lost it at that stage. Kaiho was lower than him, and Kaiho just drove him out from there. A little bit of a bang there on the face for both wrestlers. Kaiho takes his record now up to 10 wins and 2 losses. Still 1 step behind Musashi Maru, so still in a chance to win this particular basho, which would give him his 4th basho win, 4th tournament win, that is. Now we move on to the concluding bout of day 12. It's Musashi Maru against Koto Mitsuki. These two have fought 7 times previously. Musashi Maru's won 4 of them. Now, will Kotomitsuki learn a lesson from that bout yesterday when Musashi Maru lost to Asashoryu Shoryu showed the way. He said he showed how you have to come out hard and fast and move, above all move, so that the big man can't follow you, and then try and sidestep or get round behind. Kotomitsuki goes straight through the front door by the look of it, and it's a big front door, and it's a big barn door in fact, and it's just overwhelming the smaller wrestler. So 223 kilos of Musashi Maru overwhelming the much smaller Kotomitsuki. You see Kotomitsuki's head banging in there. It's not really the way to fight the big man, and he's making almost no impression on him whatsoever. Well, certainly Musashi Maru is looking very strong in this basho. Last basho he didn't do too well. He only had 1 win and then 3 losses and dropped out. So at the end of this day, it's Musashi Maru still in the lead with 11 wins and 1 loss. Kaiho with 10 wins and 2 losses, and Takanowaka, same result, 10 wins and 2 losses, and a step behind Aminishiki with 9 wins and 3 losses. So still 3 more days to go. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back shortly with days 13, 14 and 15. Bye for now, and sayonara.